Hi everyone, I thought I'd do you a little video on something just for fun since it is the 75th anniversary of VE Day on Friday the 8th of May 2020. VE stands for Victory in Europe and it is effectively the day that World War II ends and it becomes a massive street party and everyone gets involved. So I've put together just a little explanation and some videos for you to watch as well. So this is a timeline of all the events just to put everything in context for you. So I'm just going to whiz through it really quickly. So World War II begins on the 1st of September 1939 when Germany invades Poland. Rationing begins on the 8th of January in 1940. So they start by rationing bacon and butter, but eventually they're rationing everything from sweets to tea, but not fish and chips because, we're British. Churchill becomes Prime Minister on the 30th of May 1940. He'll probably be the one you're most familiar with when you see him, and he's the one that takes England through all of World War II. Then you've got the Battle of Britain that starts on the 10th of July 1940. So this is an air battle between England and Germany up in the skies using all of their planes. A fun fact, my great-great-granddad invented the Hurricane aeroplane. So the Spitfire is the most famous one, but the Hurricane, twice as many of them compared to Spitfires were made, so the Hurricane's still a pretty good plane. The Blitz begins on the 7th of September 1940, where Germans tried to completely destroy many British cities, apart from locally Oxford, because he wanted to keep the universities. Pearl Harbor attacks happen on the 7th of December 1941. So our GCSE students will remember that the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor, where all the American boats are stationed, and that leads America to join World War II in 1941. Italy surrenders on the 3rd of September 1943. Originally, they were allied with Hitler's Nazi Germany, so that's a bit of a blow for Hitler. However, he still helps the leader Mussolini escape and takes him to safety. Then you've got D-Day on the 6th of June 1944. Technically, the D doesn't stand for anything, but we take it to mean Decision Day because it's from this day where England starts winning more and more battles and starts pushing Germany out of the invaded France that they've tried to take over. Hitler eventually commits suicide on the 30th of April 1945 when he realizes the war isn't going to be won and he doesn't want to be captured and tortured. So he commits suicide by shooting himself in the head, and Eva Braun, his wife of 2 days, takes a cyanide pill and dies that way. Germany then officially surrenders on the 7th of May 1945, and war is to formally end on the 8th of May at 11:01 p.m. But it's announced in England at 3 p.m. and this leads to a massive party. So this is it being announced. You will recognise this from the big palace in London where the royals give a lot of their speeches. So you've got Winston Churchill, Prime Minister. You've got King George, who is our current Queen's father. Her mother, also called Elizabeth. And you'll recognise this young lady. This is our Queen. So this is Queen Elizabeth I, and this is her sister Margaret. They look very similar. They're quite close in age, but when it's actually announced, they sneak out of the palace and they go on this kind of tour of all the grounds in London where they're not normally meant to go, because obviously they're meant to have a guard. So it's a massive event that even the princesses of England sneak out to party for. These are some of the pictures that show you just how uplifted everyone was and how excited they are. So this first one is everyone having a massive street party. So everyone brought out tables and whatever food they had. You can see at the top there's bunting and Union Jack flags everywhere. So it was just a giant party. This one shows people celebrating in the streets. So in the background you can see a man with a horn and another one waving a Union Jack flag, and they're literally piled on this car. Here you can see people, they're literally playing in the fountains in the middle of London, so they've just gone for it. And finally, you can see just how many people came out to celebrate in this picture. And again, you've got all the Union Jack flags. And you might have seen this picture before. It's a little bit different. It's technically not taken on VE Day, actually taken on VJ Day, which stands for Victory in Japan. So although Germany surrenders on the 8th of May, Japan continues to fight. It's not until America dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki that Japan actually surrender. So that is where this famous picture of the sailor kissing this woman is taken. The 75th anniversary was meant to be this massive event, and councils had all sorts of events planned. But obviously, with the current coronavirus situation, they're not going to happen. So, what everyone's doing instead is we can decorate our house with red, white, and blue and have a picnic in our front garden. So, that's definitely something I'm going to be doing with my family, and I hope you guys do the same. So, stay safe and enjoy the celebrations for the 75th anniversary of VE Day.